Dr. Shankar, Chennai Pearls. See, basically, this happens because the family disowns. We need to orient the family, see that they are doing like that. So the basic, probably the support you got from your family made you to this level. But for the support of the family, this wouldn't have happened. So likewise, though they are disowned, we have to find out a place and why these people have been disowned, counsel the parents. Is there a program for you in that way?
So actually, it wasn't easy for me because I think family survive பண்றது it's very difficult because I very difficult family. The support is never a given because you can't blame the parents. அவங்களுக்கு அந்த awareness and the exposure கிடையாது. I think the person wanting to transform as a transgender also make the effort to educate the family and have the confidence. What happens very often, parents say no. These girls from home already take them in because it's extra income. இப்போ ஒருத்தங்க வீட்டு விட்டு ஓடி வராங்கன்னா உண்மையான வெல்விஷர் the transgender community say no, you should talk at your home. நீங்க வீட்ல இருந்து பேசி பாருங்க. நீங்க ஒரு லோக்கல் இருக்கிற சர்ச் சாரியோ இல்ல உங்க அஸ்ட்ராலஜரோ கிட்ட பேச வைங்க. இவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க, வீட்டு விட்டு வந்துரு நான் உன்னை பாத்துக்கிறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு they're getting them into prostitution. நம்ம என்ன பண்ண,
will there be a program?
Awareness has to go.
Will there be a program that you can identify those people who have run away from the family so that we can try to counsel the family? That will help a lot rather than bringing them from this fold and doing it.
Of course, I think it's a very good, but I don't know how the families will open up and talk about it because they're worried about other brothers and sisters getting married. பக்கத்து வீட்டுக்காரங்க என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க. So we've had lots of cases where the child has run away, reunite them with the family, and the child is only ended up dead. I know of a case of a student who was studying dental in college in Chennai, wanted to become a trans woman, started dressing up, spoke to the parents, father, mother came, bundled the child in the car and took him away to their. I had to intervene and counsel the parents and everything. They said, okay, nanga paathukurom, nalla paathukurom. At least the child was. So I mean, there are still instances of people who are willing to let go of their child. So I feel if they're willing to let go of the child, I think I always ask them, the dignity of your child and the happiness of your child less important than what society thinks of them.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Your child dignity, society kaga yen pari kodukku. Stand up for your child and then I solluven. But idu I think we need a larger campaign in the mainstream media because I think mainstream media also only the LGBT இல்லைன்னா ஏதாவது ஒரு ப்ரொடெஸ்ட் நடத்துறாங்க இல்ல தவறா பிஹேவ் பண்ற காட்சிகள் தான் காட்டுறாங்க. They're not showing transgender icons. They don't show transgender women doing good things. Like even if I met a political leader and I tweet about it, all the comments on Twitter will be so negative, so sexually driven, so judgmental. நான் வந்து ட்விட்டர் பார்க்கறதே நிறுத்திட்டேன் because if I meet say the chief minister or if I meet the leader of BJP, the first thing they'll say இவங்களுக்கு என்ன சம்பந்தம், எத்தனை வாட்டி இவங்களோட வந்து இவங்க படுக்கை ஷேர் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. So the whole narrative around transgender women is so sexualized that sometimes you don't feel like responding on social media. And I think social media has made us such a easy community to thrash us. It's easy to kind of negatively portray us. That change. I think readers, consumers of that news have to write their comments negatively. சித்தரிக்காதீங்க, இந்த மாதிரி கான்டென்ட் நாங்க பார்க்க மாட்டோம். I think somewhere society has to stand up for us.
It's true. Actually, when I was working in AIDS Control Society, we had program for commercial sex workers as well as for transgenders. So commercial sex workers, the demand is something different and the transgenders demand is different. But however, most of them will like to be in that prostitution, as you really said. They don't want to come out. Maybe some embargo is sitting on that and the stigma that is in the society. So we need to address the stigma that is attached to the society. There was a time that when a person gets into AIDS, he was not allowed into the family. He was immediately set out. The same thing happened. So I'm not saying something different, which is imaginative. I have seen when I did a project, I was in AIDS Control Society. Those people who are tested positive were immediately driven away. They are disowned from the family. So the government took up a project and now it is not happening. Similarly, such a type of project need to be taken up, and such a type of advertisement or small clipping in the cinema theaters and some other places, some advocacy programs, some easy activities need to be done on this.
Absolutely.
That's the greater approach actually. Maybe for the time being, these Rotary clubs 10 or 20 can join and try to help who are there. But this is not going to be the permanent solution. Permanent solution is to orient the parents, orient the society.
But for politicians to, we need to be a vote bank. Sadly, transgender women are not a sizable vote bank. But நானே வந்து எங்க கட்சியிலே எந்த கட்சியா இருந்தாலும் எந்த தலைவர்கிட்ட பேசினாலும் எங்க கட்சியில எந்த அரசியல் தலைவர்கிட்ட பேசினாலும் நீங்க வந்து அவங்கள கம்பேர் பண்ணிக்காதீங்க. நீங்க உமன் தானே, அவங்க பத்தி எதுக்கு பேசக்கூடாது? அவங்களும் மனிதர்கள் தான், நாங்களும் வந்து இந்த சமுதாயத்துல வாழ்றோம். அவங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது பண்ணணும். இட்ஸ் நாட் குட் இனஃப் ஒரு போட்டோ ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிக்காக அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு அரிசி மூட்டை கொடுத்தது not the right approach. நீங்க மாதிரி we need to have a degree approach, but that is happening with strong.
Yeah,
nice sir, nice. Thanks a lot. Maybe you can go to the next speaker.
Yeah, Palani sir. Rita, you have a question, you can ask. Rita, you are muted.
And unmute yourself, please, Rita.
Rita, yeah, go ahead.
Apsara, you had said, I mean, we also know about so many of the transgender girls, boys being thrown out of home and not being accepted wherever they are. Now, we see that the government is slowly changing its attitude, and they've started including the third gender as one of their, in some forms. The police are starting to recruit people. Is this happening all over India, only in certain states? Do you see any long-term change happening?
I don't think any government, regardless of which party, my party, any other party, can take credit for doing anything for transgender women. What a tokenistic, what a visheta panni. How many trans women are there in the police force? One person, and that person's having a hard time in the police force. How many principals do we have? Corporation employees do we have? Transgender women do not even make it to the selection process, even if the government is trying to say, so nowhere in India do transgender women have equal footing as men and women. Primarily education. Secondly, because of lack of society support or family support, they don't have, simply they can't access jobs. Like for example, there's a girl who applied for an air hostess. She was denied, I think 16 times in the last 4 years. She applied to different times. She was denied it purely because she was transgender. There's so many such professions where people say, but when the minute the transgender woman enters the premises, they ask very personal questions, people make sexual remarks. Sometimes when I come into a job, I leave my sexuality at the door. I leave my religion at the door. I want to come to the office where you discuss my capabilities and talents. It's very wrong when people discuss gender, sexuality at the workspace. I think you have to leave all that at the door. Your religion, your gender, what you do at work is what matters. And I think that kind of discourse needs to change. The narrative needs to change to that. And only then can we talk about every strata of society and every level of jobs, being open to trans women. So many times I've seen, even in government, when a trans woman applies for a job, they don't get that job. They might, it accept the application, but it goes no further. That's because politics themselves and society themselves have such a wrong approach to trans women.
So it's just you see it as tokenism, and it's not really happening on the grassroots level.
Because there's been a dialogue about trans women for like the last 5-10 years. There's been a lot of dialogue about empowerment. But how many trans women do you see empowered? How many trans women do you see in jobs? How many trans women do you see, at a college, at a university, or doing something great with their life? Because it's simply no opportunity given to them, or if the opportunity is given to them, it's only token.
Fine. Thank you, Apsara.
Yeah. One last question from me. I don't know if anybody else has question.
Satish, I also want to ask one question.
Yeah, please go ahead. I'll ask the last. Yeah.
Satish, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Both of you, Ravi sir and Emily, you can ask.
Okay. Apsara, in what way do you think our Rotary Club can help bring awareness to the younger generation? I think we have to start with children accepting the others. I always believe in inclusive, where they're accepted even at a smaller age. If that society, their peer group accepts them, I think they will have a better society. In what way do you think that you can implement, you will be instrumental in bringing awareness, and where Rotary can help us help you doing that? Do you have any kind of a vision for that? Can it be done?
Can be done. Can be done, and it can be done. It's an amazing question. A lot of some people don't know how to react to something who's different. And I think parents, youngsters, is it okay for somebody to be different? There was a book that I wrote, which that children thought that all elephants. It's a cartoon, and I think each children color.
Apsara, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. We're not able to hear you.
The host can mute everybody. I can ask without disturbance.
I'm muted. You can go ahead now. You can unmute yourself and go ahead.
I think this is a very good question. I think a lot of times children need to be told that people who are different, people who sound differently, whose bodies might be different, who might be fat, thin, dark, fair. I think we need to teach children to respect diversity and respect each other people for who they are and what they are. And I think a lot of times in society, which parents use also becomes a absorption ground for children. For example, words like ombode or gay or trans are like used as abuse. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think these kind of things need to be changed. I think why should a word like an ombodo or a trans or a whatever, there's so many words that they almost use as a form of abuse. And I think that's very wrong. We need to kind of change the diction and language of the way children react to people who are different. I think we need to teach children to be of diversity and respect that. And I think the question the lady asked, yes, I would be very happy to talk to the younger generation of Rotarians children, and we can have like an inclusive session where instead of me talking, they can ask me any question they want, and I'll be very, very happy to answer it in the most sensitive way possible to the children. But I think even at home, when you see transgender women being made fun of on TV or wrong portrayal of trans women, please tell your kids it's not true. Please tell your kids that they are human beings too. Please tell your kids that it's okay to be different. I think these are the things that we need to teach our children.
Satish, I have one small information to be passed on this forum, please.
Yeah, please.
Can I go ahead, Satish?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Now, good evening to you all, sir. I'm Palli from the Galaxy Club. The day I started my presidency, we did a project only for the transgenders in the beginning. We had trained a few transgenders in the Chepauk Foundation, and we trained them at least about 50 people. And we have joined hands with another NGO and to give a microfinance for those transgenders who have trained. We have started about for 10 lakhs from our club. Another 10 lakhs will be given by another foundation. Exclusively for transgenders, we want to do a microfinance. Our club was mainly in favor of microfinance. We're already doing it in the Women Forum in the other areas, but for the Meenavar community and other people. But this time we are planning to do only for the transgenders in Chepauk areas. If such a thing, we'll be in touch. We can ask Ms. Apsara Reddy to recommend those people. We'll do a credit for them. We have already given 50 sewing machines to all the people who got trained free of cost through our club and through the foundation in Chepauk. Thank you. That's what I want to convey.
Ravi, sir, you had a question. You're muted.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. My question to Apsara is this: now let us forget. I'm not talking about the elder people of transgenders. I'm talking about the young guys who are just coming out of school types and then they don't know what to do. They have hit puberty and things like that. If we are able to collect these kind of, identify these kind of people from your end, we can give you, because many Rotary clubs are running vocational training centers, say baking, say tailor training, say AC mechanic. In the Madri, various portfolios are available with various clubs. At least 10-15 vocational training centers are being run. If we are able to give them a vocation, train them, and make them ready for the society, so they need not be going and begging or get into prostitution, because they can stand on their own feet. Poverty illama poidallama. Will this help?
It's a very good suggestion. This is something which I have been working on, but to get the kind of status, like it's very difficult to identify these kids. Most often I identify these kids once they've already gone into a transgender home. For example, in Periyamech area, I met a 9-child who from a very young age displayed feminine characteristics, this boy. And the parents from some village had brought the child on a bus, dumped him in Chennai and went away. So the child was then taken in by transgenders, and now even to bring that child out of the transgender women's care and put him in school was a big task, because once they get into that network, it's very difficult to get them out of that network. So it's very, very important to identify kids before they enter the transgender networks, because otherwise they get caught up in the system, and even officials can't bring them out because the child is already attached to a transgender parent. This transgender women will educate him or her till as long as they want and put them back on the street. So yours is a very valid suggestion. I think we need to kind of get them into vocational training, and we need to get them into education if possible, into schools if possible. But I think as and when I get those kind of people, I'll be in touch with Rotary to kind of find the best way possible. Number one, the vocation in Vodane Solla Mudia, depending on the age and the child's interest, we can even put them back in school if possible.
Harika, you have a question?
Yes, I do. Am I audible?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for giving such a wonderful speech. And I firstly want to say you're like a huge inspiration to me. I'm a big fan of your work. I think one question that's often asked is, how can I be a better ally to the LGBTQI+ community? But my question here is more than being an ally. I mean, I'm just 18 years old, and I want to know this because a lot of my friends identify as transgender, and they don't have the courage to speak up at home because, most often parents are not accepting of that ideology. And I want to know on a personal level, how can I be a better friend to them? On a personal level, how can I help them with that journey of theirs, without saying anything offensive, because I want to know better and, be a better ally. So how do I help them out with that?
So sweet. What is your name?
Tarika.
Tarika, that's a question. How old are you?
I'm 18 now.
Very nice. Be friends with trans person them equally. If they're a trans woman, they want to be identified as a trans man, they want to be identified as a man. So whichever transgender individual you become friends with, treat them as equals, treat the gender of their choice. I don't think you need to go extra or anything which will make them kind of feel that there's no need to be care, but I think just be sensitive to what they want to be called. And I think it's very important to be an ally and to be a friend of a trans person, to also allow them to meet other networks and meet others. A lot of time people are very secretively friends. I know a lot of people who have very secretively, but they want to expose them to the other friends. They want to call them home. Make them feel home. Make them feel like any other human being. Give them your love wholeheartedly, and I think you'll get that love back.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. That really helps. Thank you.
One last question, Apsara. When you've traveled across the globe, I think at least few countries. Where do you see in terms of other countries in accepting transgenders as a community and treating them as equal? I mean, if there is any country which is fairly better? You can just name the country and how you felt.
For me, nothing better than India. எனக்கு வந்து என்னதான் சொன்னாலும் in India, I think we might not be accepting, but I think there's far less violence against transgender women. There's a lot of violence in other countries against trans women. Here, I think even though we might not accept it, but violence is very, very less in India. I think India is a very good place. Number konju sensitize pannu நம்ம மக்களை.
Great. Right. Yeah, I don't think any more questions are there. Radhika, you can proceed.
Now I invite Dr. Rotarian Vardarajan, President RC Adambakam, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Good evening. Thanks, Apsara ma'am. What we understood from interaction with you today is that there is a big cry for an equality, treatment of equality. And in our society, there had been a lot of, even they were positioned in better way. In spite of that, today's situation is different. There is a big cry going on in the community requesting for treating equal, forget about treating better or less. So that is what we are taking home today from interaction with you. And from our Rotary side, we have a lot of schools, we have access. So we can bring this awareness among school children, at least to start with. Uneducated is a different level, but at least among school children, like we do good touch, bad touch programs. So similarly, gender sensitivity programs, we can take it to the schools through Rotary. And as our Rotarian Ravi said, there is a microfinance, and Palni said about the microfinance, and also there are certain things like vocational training. So in all, Rotary, when it tries to do something, it will try to change the life. And incidentally, that is what is the theme of the year. That is serve to change the lives. Okay, we all are ready to do it. Only thing is, we need somebody from the community asking for it, what exactly is required. With that, and for bringing that kind of awareness into us, for making enlightenment.
Interrupting. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, but give me a singular point of contact for the collective Rotary for this interaction, and whenever and wherever needed, I will be in touch, and I will most definitely try and work as a resource person to facilitate the empowerment initiatives of the Rotary with the transgender women. I'd be very, very happy to work with all of you collectively. If you give me a singular point of contact where we can even start a WhatsApp group and we can discuss the merits of any empowerment initiative and we can associate together.
Sure, ma'am. We will discuss. We will come out with a format. Okay. And we can have an interaction. As I said in the beginning, there are a lot of discussion has to happen. There are a lot of resources available, but we just have to match them. Okay. Let's go with that. And thank you for enlightening. And in a way, I would like to thank you specifically for bringing that kind of awareness, and to see that you are also a human being. You have got nothing else. Everybody should start feeling today onwards, I'm sure, that you are just like any one of us. So that feeling you have given us, thanks. And for bringing up this kind of program, I would like to thank Rotarian Satish, who thought of offbeat program and brought this to all of us. And similarly, there are 10 clubs which have participated. For the want of time, I will just mention the clubs. RCC Sagar, Symphony, and my own club Adambakam, Pearls, and Madras Golden City, Madras Silver Beach, Galaxy, Mugaper, and the centenary commemoration. All these presents are here, all these club members are here. And in future, and specifically, I would also like to thank Dr. Radhika for an excellent MC, and for Rotarian Palani for four-way test, and Anne Lalita for introducing such a excellent speaker to us today. And thank you everybody, and whoever is provided platform, Zoom platform, I would like to thank them. Thank you all. We will take it forward in future.
I'm sure all of us have enjoyed today's program and looking forward for more of this kind. Madam, you have opened our eyes towards your community. So signing off from our side, wishing you all a very good night. Our President Rotarian Satish Kumar will adjourn the meeting now. Thank you.
I hereby adjourn this speaker meeting. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Radhika. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.